Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Shock. I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, and today I'm going to be reviewing an animated film. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, and it seems like I'm getting back into the swing of things easily with an animated movie, but this may be, in fact, one of the most disturbing and just affecting war films I've ever seen, despite the title of this. This is 2022's Unicorn Wars by director Alberto Vasquez. Um, where to even begin with this? The plot, there's a small army of bear cubs, very cutesy, looking like, not really chibi, but like traditional animated cartoon characters, who are sort of being trained to fight in this war against unicorns, which is like their mortal enemy. And the story really focuses on these two brothers, Bluey, not that one, different Bluey, and Tubby, who is, the fatter of the two. They're all very cutesy and all this stuff, and it focuses on them as they are on this mission together. Tubby is always seen as like more timid one, and Bluey as the sort of more unstable, violent, and sort of aggressive brother, despite them loving each other. And the story follows their sort of endeavors in this war, and there's political intrigue between the leaders of the bear group, and we see both sides, both from the like front lines, like their vicious nature. We're going to get more into that, of both sides, as well as like the more like civilian side of things. It's very much reminiscent of something like Full Metal Jacket, with the first half really focusing on like the boot camp, and the second half focusing on like the war and its effects on the psyche. And despite the animation style looking like this, and it being called Unicorn Wars, this movie is incredibly disturbing. And not in like a kitschy, like One Trick Pony kind of way, like not like a Happy Tree Friends sort of thing for people who grew up like me with those online. Despite being cutesy in that, it's actually a very straight-faced war film where the animation just allows for a greater contrast between, like, it really does show the, like, the young people that are being put into war. Like, it's instead of, people, it's bears. But it shows, like, the innocence there, which I really enjoyed. And I keep talking about the animation being cutesy, but the animation in this movie is truly beautiful. This is one of the most beautifully animated films I've ever seen. On the level of the best of Ghibli, of Disney, of any independent animated film I've ever seen. It is a visual feast. Specifically, there is a part where the bear cadets consume these worms, which act as like psychedelics, and they start having a really bad trip. There's like melting people and rainbow vomit and all this stuff, and it looks just top notch. The war scenes in the battles are incredibly gruesome. There's disembowelings, there's cannibalism in this movie, and none of this is played for laughs. It is all very straight-faced, and this is a film that has a central character, I would say. It focuses on Bluey and Tubby, but Bluey is sort of the main focus of the story, and we see his like development from being, maybe a little bit happy-go-lucky, not super. He definitely has dark moments. It's there from the beginning that he has like this sort of dark side, but really transitioning into a monster by the end of the film. And his physical appearance does change over time as well through these acts that occur to him as he's changing both internally and externally as a monster. And not to spoil much, but there is a confrontation between him and Tubby towards the end of the film that ranks up there as one of the most unsettling scenes I've seen in a film ever. This is Apocalypse Now mixed with a Disney movie. And it is certainly, if you haven't grasped this, not for children, despite being released by GKIDS. This movie is incredibly brutal. There is very disturbing themes. There's cannibalism, um, fratricide, murder, war. I mean, it's very graphic. This is like, I would say this is a good companion piece to something like Grave of the Fireflies or When the Wind Blows, like those war films that are animated, but they work better as a war film than a traditional animated film. I would say this is on the same level there. This has got to be one of my favorite releases this year, though. I really don't have any complaints about this. The soundtrack is fantastic. The characters are well developed there. I really love the ending of this movie. I know some people are probably going to say it's a little bit on the nose, but I do really enjoy the end of this movie as well. It works as a war movie. It works as an animated film. And the unicorns, I feel like people don't really discuss that as much. I've heard some people talk about this movie. They always focus on the bears, which is understandable. But the unicorns don't have any spoken dialogue, really. But I don't know. And it's an animated film, so it's weird to say that they're like the physical performances show you everything, but it really does. And yeah, this is a fantastic film. I highly recommend this. It gets my highest recommendation of anything I've seen this year. I've been recommending this to everybody that I speak to. And if you haven't seen this, definitely go pick it up. It is well worth the watch. Yeah. Not enough good things to say about this film. The voice acting, the animation, the music, the story, everything is top notch. It's hard to say it's perfect, but it really is like a perfect film. This is definitely going to be a cult classic, so get in this like while the getting's good. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Unicorn Wars. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. And as always, I'm your host, Herschel Deal, signing off for today. Zero thoughts, zero editing, zero brain cells, and zero planning. I'll see you guys later.